Keep going. I was going to take a picture.
Will the audience please rise for the processional and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and the singing of the Star Spangled Banner. Good evening, platform guests, parents, and friends. Welcome to our Summer 2023 graduation ceremony. We ask all present here to remember that this is a very formal, dignified event to honor the academic achievement of our students. Your total cooperation is needed to make it a special event for our seniors. Before we begin, I would like to ask that all electronic devices and cell phones be silenced at this time. Please remain standing for the pledges to our flags and our national anthem.
Ari, others. Oh, art. And I will. Art. Others. Oh. Action. Art.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Good evening. On behalf of the Aldine Independent School District's Board of Trustees and administrative staff, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to our summer commencement activities for the class of 2023. There are a number of individuals who have worked very hard to make this day a special one for you and your graduate. As I introduce the platform guests, please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. Platform guests, as I call your name, please stand and be recognized. To my right, Dr. LaTanya Goffney. Mr. Randy, Superintendent of Schools. Mr. Randy Bates, Board President. Dr. Kimberly Booker, Vice President. Mr. Steve Mead, Secretary. Ms. Rose Avalos, Assistant Secretary. Ms. Connie Sparsa, Board Member. Dr. Riaola Garcia, Board Member. Mr. Paul Shanklin, Board Member. Mrs. Shalia Reed, Chief of Staff. Dr. Javier Villarreal, Chief of Schools. Dr. Fabiola Cantu, Chief Academic Officer. Mr. Stanley Osborne, Chief Financial Officer. Mrs. Marcy Herrera, Chief Human Resources Officer. Mr. Fred Washington, Chief Operations Officer. Mr. Adam Galvan, Chief Information Officer. Dr. Adrian Bustillos, Chief Transformation Officer. Mrs. Kay DeWalt, General Counsel. Dr. Xochitl Rodriguez, Associate Superintendent of Schools. Dr. Crystal Watson, School Assistant Superintendent for Secondary Schools. Dr. Terry Osborne, School Assistant Superintendent for Secondary Schools. To my left, Felicia Martin, Texas Regional Director, the JED Foundation, and graduate of MacArthur High School. Ms. Estela Garcia, Counselor, Aldine High School. Ms. Lulu De Anda, Principal of Aldine High School. Mrs. Lakeisha Williams, Principal of Carver High School for Applied Technology, Engineering, and the Arts. Mrs. Dee Dee Burke, Curriculum Assistant Principal for Davis High School. Mr. James Metcalf, Principal of Eisenhower High School. Mrs. Sierra Nickerson, Principal of Hall Success Academy. Mrs. Shauna Showers, Principal of MacArthur High School. Mr. Walter Stewart, Principal of Nimitz High School. At this time, I would like to recognize the parents of all graduating seniors. I thank each of you for the support you have given to your child and our schools. Parents, please stand. Today, we are honored to have some of our graduating seniors who have chosen a life of service to our country. These young men and women have enlisted in one of the military branches or have been admitted into one of the U.S. military academies. It is my honor to recognize and support these students for their decision at this time. Graduates who have enlisted, please stand and be recognized. Our commencement speaker tonight is Felicia Martin, a proud Aldine ISD alumna. As a graduate of MacArthur High School in 1995, Felicia attended Rice University as one of the first in her family to attend college. Since graduating with a sociology degree from Rice in 1999, she has worked for over 20 years in college access and strategic planning for higher education institutions and nonprofit organizations. Along the way, she also earned a master's degree in organizational development from St. Edward's University in Austin. In 2015, Felicia was instrumental in building Emerge, a Houston nonprofit organization that empowers and prepares high school performance students from income-constrained households to attend and graduate from college and universities. Felicia is now the Texas Regional Director of the JED Foundation, a nonprofit new to Texas that protects the emotional health and prevents suicide for our nation's teens and young adults. Felicia has served on the Alumni Board of Directors and the Advisory Board for the Center for Teaching Excellence at Rice University. She is also a 2023 Latinos for Education Board Fellow. And please join me in welcoming Mrs. Felicia Martin.
Good evening, members of the board, principals, teachers, staff, families, and of course, the 2023 summer graduates of Aldine ISD. Buenas noches, familias de nuestras graduadas y graduados. It's an honor to be here tonight. My name is Felicia Martin, and I am a proud graduate of Aldine ISD, MacArthur High School, 1995, the male route. My principal 30 years ago was Miss Rose Avalos, who's sitting up here, who very deservingly now has a school named in her honor. What a privilege it is to be up here with her in front of you all tonight. It's also important that you know that I am the descendant of immigrants, a Mexican mother and an Irish father whose families arrived in this country to pursue a better life. I also know that before they arrived in Texas, and even before the arrival of Europeans in the 16th century, there were an estimated 50 indigenous tribes, including the Atakapa, Akokisa, Karankawa, and more, living on the land that we now call Houston. Since they're part of my ancestry, I first want to honor the indigenous communities that inhabited the land that we are on today. In thinking about what I wanted to share with you all, I thought about what brought you each here tonight. I thought about how I'm sure many of you had hoped to graduate earlier, and perhaps something had hindered you from doing so. Maybe it was credits, maybe sickness, maybe it was caring for your family, or maybe starting a family of your own. Whatever the case may be, there may have already been moments in your journey that you didn't expect. You experienced loss, disappointment, and uncertainty. Here's what I want you to know. The road to success is built up as you travel. There is no blueprint. This statement rings true whether you're bound for Harvard or a student bound for employment post-graduation. Up to this moment, the what you needed to do was clear. Go to class, do your homework, go to the next grade level, and then graduate. Congratulations, blueprint complete. But now what? Everyone's asking you, what are you going to do now? Are you going to go to college? What do you want to be? People are so preoccupied to finding the answer to your what that they and we rarely stop to ask about your why. So what is your why? Your why is part of what got you here tonight. You all have had numerous experiences, some of them unique to your own situation, and others that you've shared together that have contributed to your why. For a moment, I want you to think about this, and you don't have to raise your hand, but just reflect on the past 10 years, for example. How many of you experienced the impact of Harvey in 2017? How many of you faced challenges during the onset of COVID in March of 2020? How many of you were angered by the senseless deaths of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd and other people of color while you've been in school? How many of you have lost a loved one who isn't here to witness this accomplishment tonight? And through all of these moments, guess what? You still made it here. And when you can persevere through tragedy and setbacks and still find a way to get through it, you are building your why. When you feel something deep inside your gut, so much that it angers and incenses you to the point that you are driven to say something, stand up in protest, challenge it, or try to make a change, your why is being born. My why began to take shape very early. I experienced a childhood that was marred by poverty, addiction, lack of health care, and untreated mental illness. This lack of access impacted our entire community. There were many moments growing up in Northeast Houston when I wanted to give up. And then when I arrived at Rice University in 1995, the expectations for success weren't clear anymore. And I struggled to identify what mattered to me and who I was. What did I want to be? Soon thereafter, I realized that there weren't very many people like me, students from Aldine, first generation, who grew up income constrained at Rice University. And I wondered, why not? Boom. Part of my why started to be born right then, and it developed around equity. I felt a deep sense of anger in my gut toward the lack of access and inequities that students like me and you face both in the college application process and once we arrived on campus. In 1996, as a student, I felt compelled to do something about it. And for the last 2 decades, my why has taken me down many roads and led me on some fantastic adventures. I often tell students the story about my first job out of college. I stumbled a bit after I graduated from Rice, and after a year of trying to articulate what mattered to me, I entered into the Google, because it was new back then, 3 words that I thought reflected my why. I typed in diversity, community, and outreach. And I kid you not, I came upon a job that was for a coordinator of diversity and community outreach at California Lutheran University. I didn't know anyone in California, but I knew that job was mine. And a few weeks later, I moved to Los Angeles to pursue that opportunity that spoke to my why. So I think the moral of the story is if I had started my job search process looking for what jobs I thought I was qualified for or some other surface level criteria, I would have limited my thinking to only the things that I knew, which at 21 years old was not very much. Our what will always be shifting and emerging. Our why remains consistent and serves as our foundation. I have since spent the last 20 years of my professional career seeking out opportunities to increase equity and access for marginalized communities, and with youth in particular. I did work in college access for underrepresented students for most of that time, but just this year I've started working for the JED Foundation, a national organization that is prioritizing mental health in high schools and in colleges. I get to lead that work now here in Texas. And once again, what I do has shifted, but the why I do it, to improve equity and access for my people, for youth, has stayed the same. I have a 5-year-old daughter who is in the audience along with my wife. The life that I have now could have never taken shape if I took a familiar path and the one that other people expected of me. Planning your life around other people's expectations may ultimately result in letting you down. I want to remind you tonight that where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. Whatever path led you here tonight is yours. Own it and be proud of how far you've come. I want my daughter to dream, to imagine possibilities, and to be inspired by her why. It's my goal as a parent to never limit her aspirations or her journey based on my own expectations. She is her own person, as are each of you. I'll leave you with this final quote from Simon Sinek, who writes on the subject of leadership, which states, "Happiness comes from what we do, but fulfillment comes from why we do it." Congratulations on your accomplishments thus far, and best of luck to you all.
Graduates of the 2023 class of Aldine, Carver, Davis, Eisenhower, Hall, MacArthur, and Nimitz High School, please rise. Dr. Goffney, would you please join me at the podium? Dr. Goffney, I'm honored to share that these seniors, members of the class of 2023, have met the criteria to graduate. They have satisfied all requirements of the Aldine Independent School District and the state of Texas. They are hereby entitled to be graduates of their respective high schools with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Graduates, please be seated.
Students, congratulations. Please cherish this moment and be proud of your accomplishments. You have earned the right to celebrate. Parents, families, teachers, you too should be proud. The support you've provided our graduates along the way helped them to reach their academic goals. I encourage you to continue to support them as they go on to the next chapters of their lives. President Bates, members of the Aldine Board of Trustees, principals of each high school, as superintendent of Aldine Independent School District, it is indeed my distinct honor and privilege to certify that the graduates of the Aldine Independent School District class of 2023 have met the requirements of the Aldine Independent School District and the state of Texas and are hereby entitled to be graduates from Aldine Independent School District and each high school with all rights and privileges pertaining hereto.
Will the graduates of Aldine High School please come forward? I would like to remind the audience of the dignity of this evening's ceremony. Out of respect for the graduates, please refrain from excessive noise making so each graduate's family can hear their name being called. Sofía Alexandra Alvarado Salgado. Juan Pedro Álvarez Cruz. Mariela Ávila. Liliana Cassandra Bravo. Heaven Reina Brooks Robinson. Genesis Yolani Carranza Cruz. Shailene Guadalupe Castonera. Brandon Contreras. Joshua Jeremiah de León. Saraí Flores López. Olimpia Dayanara Flores Martínez. Brian Aaron Flores Pérez. Joshua Galvan. Jonah David Garcia. Areli Marina Gutiérrez. Patricia Carolina Jiménez Nolasco. Gardel Josué Lara. Oscar David Lara Cáceres. Oscar Francisco López Mendoza. Chris Anthony Medina Martínez. Kimberly Darlene Medrano. Melanie Mejía Rodríguez. Alexis Méndez Martínez. Sander Fabián Morazán Varela. Alexis Cristel Muñiz. Marian Alexandra Peña Ramírez. Jay Perales. Sergio Karim Pizano Mojica. Samantha Reyes. Aisa Raquel Romero. Melanie Esther Salazar. Angie Sánchez Reyes. Brandon Servin Maldonado. Tatiana Amarie Shepherd Senegal. Marlene Yamilet Cifuentes Moreira. Filemón Solís. Raúl Antonio Sosa. María Leticia Treviño. Litzy Elisa Ulloa Rodríguez. Jacqueline Jasmine Vázquez Cruz. Flor Rocío Celaya Guevara. Graduates from Carver High School for Applied Technology. Sally Georgina Álvarez Hernández. Amelia Diana Galván. Kyler Ania Lewis. Gabriel Lamar Morris. Zachary Lavelle Morris. Tyboon Owens Peavy. Graduates from Davis High School. Angela Yanay Acosta. Richard Alexander Andres. Andy Montserrat Argueta Orellana. Julio César Avelar Ortega. Zion Keimani Cyril Barber. Jennifer Alexandra Bonilla Ramos. Yesiri Betsabeth Canales. Alori Bird. Fernando Candelero. Cristian Fernando Carranza. Gabriela Giselle Carranza. Natasha Lynette Carroll. Luis Eduardo Castañón. Kimberly Giselle Cortés. Brian Alejandro de la Cruz García. Jair Daniel Escobar. Víctor Fernando Espinal Cruz. Rigoberto Junior Fermín. José Ángel Figueroa Cruz. Kimberly Flores. Paola Nicole Flores. Ashley García Ruiz. Heather Alexis González. Bailey Michelle Guevara. Julian Abigail Guzmán. José Miguel Enríquez Morales. Leslie Guadalupe Hernández. Julissa Herrera. Delilah Alexandra Jiménez. Austin Juárez. Kevin Alexander Lara. Cameron Danae Lewis. Christian Neftali Luna Vasquez. Donovan Lyles. Abigail Martinez. Diana Michelle Medina. Francisco Medrano. Michael Osmin Mejía Silva. Madeline Michelle Mendoza. Randy Antonio Molina. Alexis Monge. Kevin Gerardo Montoya Rosales. Juan José Moreno. Adriana Jaquia Nels. Darion Deon Norris, Oscar Antonio Orellana, Benjamin Pedrosa, Geraldine Piña, Royce Mark Porras, Emiliano Alberto Quirino, Isaac Aldair Ramos Márquez, Kenia Estebana Ramos Monterrosa, Priscila Yvette Razo, Jesús Ángel Ren, David Rendón, Dustin Van Resendes, Amy Paola Resendiz, Corey Cantra Rogers Jr., Damian Javier Rodríguez, Jessica Yvette Rodríguez, Jimmy José Rodríguez, Yaritza Rosibel Romero, Brini Alexandra Savillon Saldívar, David Eliseo Sánchez, Lluvia Emily Santana Godínez, Jonathan Tawun Strings, Yesenia Du Stewart, Jeremiah Jermaine Thompson, Joshua Jermaine Thompson, Angel Marcelino Tut Bostock, Nathan Frank Valladares, Shane Alejandro Velázquez, Christian Anelo Yáñez, Jasmine Yáñez. Graduates from Eisenhower High School. Onica Mystique Alston, Adrian Andrade Carrión, Luis Gilberto Arredondo, David Benavides, Naum Adonis Berrios, Anthony Daniel Bonilla Martínez, Emil Jafet Borjas Flores, Laura Botello, Martín Alejandro Campos Torres, Ismael Alexis Carrillo, Andrew Nathan Cervantes, Kevin Chavez, Natalie Victoria Euseda, Nevaeh Angel Freeman, Marisol García, Jason Fabricio Gómez Alvarado, Elías Oseas Guerrero, José Guiti, Mariana Hernández, Samantha Elizabeth López, Juan Ángel López Zelaya, Pablo Antonio Madrid Bonilla, Anaya Martavia Manfield, Jorge Alberto Martínez Cruz, Kevin Alexander Mazariegos, Nazario Montoya, Jeroyce Murphy, Kayla Orellana, Isaac Rapalo, Carmen Alicia Reyes Salazar, Javier Antonio Rivera Molina, Fanny Gabriela Rodríguez Cruz, Oliver Rodríguez, Ángel Román, José Rosas Jr., Isaac Sánchez, Shania Stevens, Carrington Christian Taylor Jr., Valeria Alexandra Torres Baires, Larissa Yvette Tovar, Alba Jocelyn Vázquez Méndez, Casey Emmanuel Walwhite, Trishelle Ariel Wortham. Graduates from Hall Success Academy. Dionisio Barrera. Elvin Alexander Fuentes. Samara Chantel Nicole Renee Gardner. And Tricia Chantel Lemons. Isaac Xavier Saavedra. Kiara Janelle Stevens. Jason DeWay Stone. Jose Luis Villafana. Chanel Phoenicia Withersby. Jamia Jade Whopper. Graduates from MacArthur High School. Yanira Julisa Aguilar Navarro. Draven Eric Alonso. Angel Gabriel Aranda. Richard Arredondo III. Jezreel Gray Coronado. Joaquin Flores. Jason Saúl Caldames Gutierrez. Frida Michelle Gamboa. Mary Norberta Garcia. Brianna Jade Garza. Melina Daniel Gomez. Angel Leonardo Llanas. Ivan Lopez Ibarra. Cindy Martínez. Raúl Ignacio Holguín Alfaro. Axley Jocelyn Pantoja Soto. Evelyn Nicole Rodríguez Lemos. Josué Alfredo Solano Ayala. Iván Torres. Ginny Orlando Treviño. Ronnie Javier Vázquez Rodas. Graduates from Nimitz High School. Samantha Alvarado. Mariah Janae Blackstone. Desmond Deshaun Blanks. Paola Sheikwa. Miguel Ángel Concha Jaramillo. Josué Cornejo. Dion Pashard Crawford. Raishala Denowan. Xavier Jaheim Franklin. Corey Allen Huff Jr. Jordan Travion Johnson. Giovanni Ray Lewis. Jayla Lowe. Coach Christine Miles. Viviana Ojeda. Alex Adrian Polk. Holly Angel Richardson. Aileen Salas. Ashley Salgado. Jonathan Torres.
Will the summer graduates of the class of 2023 please rise? Graduates, symbolic of your graduation and moving from one stage in your life to the next, you may move your tassels from the right to the left side of the caps. Congratulations. Audience, there has been a little light thunderstorm and please be cautious going home. Padres de familia, por favor tengan cuidado al salir porque ha llovido durante la ceremonia. Would you please, audience, rise for the recessional. Please remember you will exit the rear of the arena.